My name is Grace, and I never thought a simple family dinner could ruin my life. One night, my sister looked me in the eyes, sneered, and said, "Get out, find another table." Then she shoved a $2,000 bill into my hands. That night shattered everything I believed about family, trust, and myself. My name is Grace, and I thought family dinners were supposed to be warm. I stepped into the dining room, smiling at my parents, only to feel Madison's glare slice right through me. "Grace is here," she whispered, loud enough for our mom to hear. "Is everything all right?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Madison smirked. "Oh, everything's perfect. Just your presence makes it interesting." I laughed nervously, hoping it was a joke, but the tension twisted my stomach. I took my seat, trying to ignore the icy stares from relatives. "Grace, could you pass the salad?" Dad asked, but Madison leaned over first. "I'll do it," she said, her tone sharp. Then she gave me that look, the one that made me feel like I didn't belong. "Actually," she paused, turning to everyone, "Grace should find another table. She clearly doesn't fit here tonight." "What?" My voice trembled. I looked at our parents. Their faces were blank. "Madison, that's what?" Mom cleared her throat. "It's fine, Grace. Sit wherever you like." "Sit wherever I like," I repeated, stunned. My fingers clutched my napkin, twisting it into knots. "Madison, this isn't funny." "Oh, it's very funny," she said, leaning back with a grin. "Here's your seat. Well, technically, here's your bill." She thrust an envelope toward me. My hands shook as I opened it. $2,000. $2,000. I blinked at the number. "Pay this, or don't come back," she said, casually, like tossing a casual insult. I couldn't breathe. "Madison, why? What have I done?" "You've always acted like you're the star," she said. "Maybe now you'll understand reality." "Reality?" I whispered. My ears were ringing. I felt heat in my face. This is insane." Uncle Ben, sitting nearby, coughed. "Maybe we should calm down," he said softly, glancing at Mom and Dad. Mom shook her head. "It's a family matter. Let them handle it." I buried my face in my hands. I can't believe this. My own sister, my own family. "Stop whining, Grace," Madison snapped. "You always make things about you. Learn your place." "I can't. I just can't," I whispered to myself. Tears burned my eyes. The laughter and chatter around me became muffled, almost cruel. "Grace, please," Uncle Ben said gently. "Step outside, take a breath." I didn't need telling twice. I bolted toward the bathroom, gripping the counter as if it could hold me together. My reflection stared back at me, a stranger with hollow eyes, trembling lips, and flushed cheeks. Every word Madison said replayed in my mind. "Learn your place. Stop whining. Pay the bill." Each syllable dug into my chest. I could feel humiliation pooling like ice water in my veins. I whispered into the mirror, "Why? Why would she do this? Why would they let her?" The door creaked behind me. "Grace." Ethan's voice quivered. "Are you okay?" I don't know," I admitted. My knees threatened to give out. "I feel broken." "You're not broken," he said softly. "Not truly. We'll figure this out." I nodded, though the seed of determination in me was still tiny, fragile. But it was there, nestled in the chaos of heartbreak. Madison thought she'd destroyed me tonight, but I felt something else. Somewhere deep down, I knew I wouldn't stay down forever. I couldn't sleep that night. Every moment from the dinner replayed in my head, like a scene I couldn't escape. My eyes burned, my chest felt tight, and I kept asking myself, how could she? How could they all just watch? I grabbed my phone and dialed Ethan. My hands shook. "Ethan. I don't know if I can talk about this." "Grace, hey, breathe. I'm here. Tell me," he said softly. I swallowed hard. "It's Madison, the dinner." She handed me a bill. $2,000. And everyone just watched. There was a pause. "What? She what?" I stopped, tears spilling. I can't believe she did this, Ethan. My own sister. Grace, listen. You're not alone. I'm here. We'll get through this, he said, his voice steady. The next day, I confronted her. I found her in the kitchen, sipping coffee as if nothing had happened. Madison, we need to talk, I said, my voice shaking. She looked at me, a smirk curling her lips. Oh, we're talking now? I thought you'd slink away quietly. Why? Why did you humiliate me like that? I demanded. That $2,000 bill, it was cruel, unfair. You've always acted entitled, Grace, she said, tilting her head. Maybe now you'll learn your place. I froze. Rage and disbelief collided inside me. Your place? You mean tormenting me? Undermining me in front of everyone? Madison shrugged. I just told the truth. Maybe you should have seen it coming. I remembered other moments, her laughing as I tried to explain my promotion to Mom, the subtle comments about my spending, the way she made me feel like I was always overstepping. A pattern emerged, one I had ignored for far too long. I couldn't believe it. All this, it's been happening for years. And I just let it slide. You let it slide because you always wanted everyone to like you, she said, cold and sharp. I left, shaking, and called Chloe. Chloe. I can't. I'm breaking, I think, I whispered. Chloe's voice broke, soft and tremulous. Grace. I'm crying with you. You don't deserve this. I've always known how cruel she can be, but this is beyond. I leaned back on my bed, hugging the phone to my chest. I feel trapped. I feel ashamed, like I'm the problem. But now I see, maybe I'm not. Chloe sniffled. Exactly. Your self-worth has never depended on her or anyone else. You're stronger than you know. I didn't realize how much she lied to Mom and Dad about me, I admitted. She said I was irresponsible, that I couldn't handle money. That's why she gave me that ridiculous bill. That's manipulative, Chloe said. You need to stand up for yourself, Grace. Show her that her games don't control you. Her words ignited something in me, a quiet, determined fire. I will, I said softly, more to myself than to Chloe. I'll reclaim my life, expose the truth. I won't let her or anyone else control my happiness again. Chloe's voice was firm. And I'll be there every step of the way. You're not alone. Never again. I hung up and stared at the ceiling. The anger simmered, but it wasn't just anger, it was clarity. I realized that every cruel word, every sly joke, every manipulation had prepared me for this moment. I wasn't broken. I was awakening. For the first time in years, I felt untouchable, not because anyone else had given me power, but because I had decided to take it back. And for the first time, I wasn't afraid to fight. The weeks after the dinner felt like I was waking from a nightmare. I didn't answer Madison's texts. I avoided her calls. Even my parents' attempts to reach me were met with polite distance. I can't deal with this right now, I told Mom one evening. Grace, she began, but I cut her off. No. Not tonight. I need space. Hanging up, I felt both sorrow and liberation. It was the first time in years I felt a little control over my life. I sat at my desk and pulled out a notebook. Every insult, every lie, every manipulation, I muttered, jotting everything down. Seeing it all on paper made me feel empowered, in a strange way. Later, Ethan stopped by. How are you holding up? He asked, concern etched in his eyes. I'm starting to feel stronger, I admitted. I've started keeping track of everything Madison's done. It's like I'm reclaiming my mind. You should, he said, smiling softly. You can't let her control you anymore. One evening, I finally called Madison. My hands trembled as I pressed her number, but I knew I had to confront her. Hello, she answered, voice smug. Madison, we need to talk, I said, steadying myself. Oh, Grace. How sweet. You finally realized you need me, she laughed, a sound that made my stomach twist. I don't need you. Not anymore. I've documented everything, you can't deny it. Oh, I'm shaking, she said sarcastically. You really think a notebook scares me? It's not the notebook. It's me, I said, forcing my voice calm. You've lost your power the moment I decided I wouldn't let you control me. There was silence on the line, then a harsh laugh. You think you're so clever, Grace. But you're still the same little girl you always were. No, I said firmly. I'm not. I've grown. I've changed. And you're small, petty, jealous, and people are starting to see it. Her voice faltered slightly, then she hung up. I smiled softly, though my hands were still shaking. That was the first victory I'd allowed myself. At work, my focus sharpened. I took on projects with determination, proving to myself I was capable. Raises, recognition, promotions, all quietly, without boasting. But every time I saw the $2,000 bill tucked in my drawer, I felt a surge of triumph. That bill, once a symbol of humiliation, had transformed into a reminder of my resilience. Grace, you seem different, Chloe said one morning over coffee. You're confident, radiant. What changed? I stopped letting people define me, I said. I realized survival isn't just escaping abuse, it's transforming the pain into purpose. You look unstoppable, she whispered, smiling. I laughed softly. Maybe I am. Even with my parents, the dynamic shifted. I no longer waited for their approval. I spoke my mind, stood my ground, and for the first time, they couldn't dismiss me. I wasn't mean or cruel, I was firm. They noticed, silently adjusting their expectations. Ethan held my hand one evening. I've never seen you like this, he said. It's inspiring. I finally feel free, I admitted. Free from her, free from fear, free from letting someone else dictate my happiness. That night, I looked at the bill again. $2,000. A ridiculous number, yet it no longer hurt me. Instead, it reminded me of who I'd become, a woman who refused to be crushed by cruelty, who could rise from humiliation and betrayal, and who could turn pain into purpose. I whispered to myself, I survived. I thrived. And I'm just getting started. Months later, the family reunion arrived. I walked in, my chest tight but my head held high. Madison glanced at me, smirking as usual. I ignored her. Grace, come meet everyone, Mom called. I smiled politely. Of course. Inside, though, I felt a quiet fire. I wasn't the same girl who trembled at Madison's words. Later, as we sat around the table, I subtly brought up incidents, carefully guiding the conversation. Remember last summer when the charity check went missing? I found it in Madison's folder, I said casually, watching faces turn. Madison stiffened. What are you talking about? She asked, her voice tight. I'm just reminding everyone, I said softly. It's important we know the truth. And honestly, Mom, Dad, you might want to see these emails she sent, claiming I mishandled things. Dad's brow furrowed. Mom blinked in surprise. I handed over my notes, every lie Madison had spread, every cruel remark she had made over the years, carefully documented. Madison's face paled. Grace, this isn't fair. I'm not trying to be unfair, I said, calm and steady. I'm showing facts. The truth always comes out, Madison. Why are you doing this now? She asked, her voice quivering. Because I refused to let your lies control me anymore, I said. I've spent years doubting myself because of you, and I won't do it again. Uncle Ben nodded approvingly. It's about time someone stood up. Bravo, Grace. I can't believe this, Madison whispered, her smugness crumbling. Everyone, they'll see me like this. Yes, I said gently. And it's not me being cruel, it's you facing the consequences of your actions. Ethan squeezed my hand under the table. I'm proud of you, he whispered. I smiled, feeling warmth spread through me. Chloe leaned over, her eyes glistening. You did it, Grace. You took control. I finally understood. Closure wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about shaming her publicly. It was about reclaiming my voice, setting boundaries, trusting myself. After the reunion, I spent time with Ethan. I feel lighter, I confessed. Like the weight has been lifted. You earned this, Grace, he said. You stood up, and you didn't lose yourself in anger. That's true strength. Chloe visited too. I've never seen you so confident. It's inspiring. I finally get it, I admitted. Life tested me. It broke me. And now, I'm stronger than ever. That evening, I looked at the $2,000 bill, still tucked in my drawer. The paper had haunted me for months, a symbol of humiliation and betrayal. Now, I saw it differently. Every crumpled crease reminded me of the girl I had been and the woman I had become. I had transformed shame into triumph, pain into purpose. I survived, I whispered to myself. I rose. And no one can diminish me ever again. Madison didn't speak to me after that. I didn't need her apology. My life had moved forward. Friends, allies, supportive relatives, they surrounded me, grounding me in love and trust. Every scar reminded me of resilience, every past betrayal sharpened my inner strength. Ethan kissed my forehead. I love the woman you've become, he murmured. I smiled. I love her too. For the first time, I felt fully free emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I understood that self-worth isn't given by anyone, it's claimed, moment by moment, fight by fight. And I had fought, I had reclaimed, and I had won. Life had tested me, broken me, and rebuilt me stronger. I was no longer the naive girl who trembled under Madison's cruelty. I was Grace, confident, empowered, unstoppable. And nothing could take that away from me.